Let's have a look at stairs and ladders in the 3D Tiny House Designer. To get started, I will show you ladders, and you can find these here in the Access tab in the Interior Library. You'll also find the stairs here that I'll cover in a second, but stairs and ladders are quite simple, especially ladders. So ladders are basically just objects that are preset to a good ladder size, and then you can go in and change them however you would like. So you can just change the width, depth and height of them until they suit the specifications of your ladder. And you would place them next to the wall, and you can think about different arrangements to get up to the loft. One thing to keep in mind when you are designing a ladder, make sure that you have enough headroom above where the ladder is placed. When you are designing a gable roof tiny house here, for example, you will see that a ladder in this position might not be the best, so it actually might be better to change the design to a monoslope or shed style roof. Otherwise, what you could do, you can actually grab a ladder with a bar or a sliding ladder, and this will then allow you to slide it to the side and climb up in the higher part. Only of course then there's another moving part that you need to think about. So that's how ladders work. They're basically just simple objects that you can resize and put into the right spot. Don't worry about exactly getting the rungs right. In the end, you can build them whatever way that you want, but there's a good placeholder to put into your design to know where your ladder will go and how big it will roughly be. So now let's have a look at stairs, which are slightly more intricate. And I'm just going to start with a standard stair. I will quickly grab the standard stair here, rotate it and put it into the corner until it fits right next to the loft here, like that. And now we can get started on changing this stair setup. What we will see here, we have the three general settings again with the width, height and depth that we can change, and that changes the box size of this stair that the entire stair will fit into. Then you have this setting here, which are the tread settings. You have the tread count here, which defines how many steps you have, and then you have the tread depth and tread height. The tread depth and tread height are automatically calculated based on the width, height and depth of your stair as well as your tread count. So it takes a little bit of experimenting depending on the stair that you are designing to make sure that you have a good tread height and tread depth. And to get started, I want to make sure that we don't actually have a final step here at the top. So I will reduce the height of my stair to, let's say, 6 feet, like that. And now, instead of having a tread count of 7, I will bring it down to 6. And now we have a tread height of exactly 1 foot, which is pretty good. And my tread depth here is still a little bit wonky. So we want to make sure that we actually bring this over to 6 foot here as well. So we have an even 1 foot depth and height for the tread depth. Of course, you can go into more detail to make sure that it's perfectly suitable to your size and your design as well, to make sure that the tread height and depth works properly. So one thing that you can do now to customize this stair further, you can actually change the landing at the top and at the bottom. So at the moment the landing at the bottom here, for example, is straight, but you can actually corner it around. So for example, I'm going to go into cabinets later on, but I will just quickly show you what use case I'm thinking about here. So let's say you have a cabinet over here and you don't want to come onto the stair this way, but you actually want to have a little corner. You can go in and change the landing at the bottom and change it towards the right, and now you have this corner piece that goes around the corner. There we go. So that's one way to use the landings. If you have a different kind of setup in the top where you would also need to change the direction of the landing, you can do the same thing here as well. So that's how the stair object works. I'm just quickly going to get rid of this cabinet over here. And one thing that I wanted to show you is you can actually add more detail to these stairs as well. So rather than using the stair object that I have just used to figure out the size of my stair, I can use the cabinet objects as well to create a more intricate stair. So I will go ahead and grab the very basic cabinet here. So let's say we'll just grab a left door cabinet like this, and we'll resize it to be 1 foot wide, 2 feet deep, which is the depth of the stairs at the moment, and we'll also make it 1 foot tall. At the moment we have a toe kick in here as well, so I'll just scroll down in my settings and disable my toe kick. but I like that it is a left opening door. So that means it is a little bit of a storage cabinet. Now what we can do, I can grab this this cabinet and drag it into the stair. And now we basically just use the stair as a placeholder and as a kind of a template to build my cabinet staircase. So because I know that it's a fairly simple setup, I can get rid of this stair here for now and copy this cabinet and move another one next to it. In this case, we'll make this one 2 feet tall, like that. Then this one here we'll just line it up with my cabinet, of course. Again, we'll make this one 3 feet tall. The next one will be, of course, 4 feet tall, like that. And then we have 2 more to go. This one will be 5 foot tall, and then this next one here will be 6 foot tall. There we go. Now we have a more intricate cabinetry staircase with actual doors that you can access. So one thing, sometimes you might want to integrate a fridge or a bigger storage cabinet into your staircase, so that way you don't just have even doors, but you have a more intricate setup. You can actually use the cabinet tool to create more intricate designs. So for example, this should be a wider box and you only have a single unit up on top here. What I can do now, I can make this one here 2 feet wide, for example. There we go. And this one here only becomes 1 foot tall, but of course at the moment it's kind of in the bottom, but we can use the elevation of my cabinet here to bring it up to not 4 foot, but 3 foot elevation. And now we have this cabinet here on top. But now, for example, we could make this a complete open space. So at the moment this is a right hung setup, but I can actually go in and make this an open panel. And now we can put in a fridge or something like that in here. So there we go. So that's how you could create more intricate stairs. Something that I will go into later as well, of course, in the cabinetry plans, make sure that these cabinets together are all exported in one group on the cabinetry plans, meaning that the stairs all make sense once you are looking at them in the plans.